favorite healthier snacks that I used to enjoy the store-bought version, but then I found a homemade version that I think tastes way better. So I wanted to share it with you guys and give you a protein-packed snack that you guys are probably super familiar with. Today we're making hummus. So to begin, I'd like to just quick mention, for anyone who watched my peppermint bark video, I just want to let you know my food processor did not break. So I'm very happy to welcome it back. I digress. So you only need a handful of ingredients. The one you may not have in your pantry is tahini. So you will probably find this in either your Italian section or international section. I always have a hard time finding it at the grocery store. And then garbanzo beans. So you can buy a can of them. For this recipe you'll need a 15-ounce can of them if you are using canned. I have reconstituted some dry garbanzo beans, and I have about equivalent to what is in a 15-ounce can. And then the other ingredients you'll need are some garlic cloves. The recipe I have in a link below calls for 3 garlic cloves. And you'll need lemon juice. Bottled is alright, but fresh is always best. It has the most authentic flavor. And then some paprika. If you don't have paprika, it's okay. It's really just a garnish on top. Cumin, which is very important. Don't leave out the cumin. And then olive oil and possibly some salt. So we'll taste as we go, but I'm not going to add the salt just yet. So I have my 3 garlic cloves in my food processor, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And the nice thing about hummus is we can taste it as we go. Even if we get to the end and it's missing something, we can add a little more acid from lemon juice, or we can add a little bit more fat from the olive oil, or a little bit more salt. It's better to start with a little and add to it. I'm going to give the garlic a chop in our lemon juice. And this is just a tip I saw from one of the recipes that I've made before, and I think it's just to take a little bit of the bitterness out of your garlic. So we're going to chop these a little bit and then let it set for about 10 minutes. You might need to scrape down the side of your food processor. Oh, I love the smell of garlic. I don't know if that scrape down really helped much, but we'll see. So we're going to let this set for about 10 minutes. And if you don't have time to let it set for 10 minutes, we can just carry on. One last thing I'm going to get before we put everything else in is a small bowl of ice water. Now, this is a little technique that I read from the same recipe that said to chop up your garlic and let it sit with the lemon juice for a little while. And something about the cold water helping it make it a creamier texture. If I find out if it works or why to use ice water, I'll be sure to leave it down in the description. And if you know, leave a comment down below. Share your knowledge. Okay, so now I'm going to give my tahini a little bit of a shake, because if you're not sure what tahini is, it's the same concept as peanut butter. It's ground sesame seeds. So naturally the oil is going to separate from the paste. So give it a stir or give it a shake and get all the oil mixed back in. And I'm going to put in a 1/4 cup. Some recipes call for less. And if you find you prefer to use less, go for it. And if you have an authentic recipe for hummus and you're willing to share, please share. I'd love to know what a more authentic hummus tastes like, because I enjoy it very much. Okay, I'm going to scrape down my garlic. And give it a quick mix with my tahini. Scrape down, another mix. Okay, Now I'm ready to put in my can or 15 ounces worth of garbanzo beans. Remember, if you're using dried, make sure you reconstitute them before trying to mix them in. And to do that, you can either soak them overnight and then simmer them for an hour and a half to 2 hours, or you can boil them for 2 minutes and let it sit for, I don't know if it's an hour or two, and then you simmer them for the hour and a half to 2 hours. It'll be on the back of the bag of the dried garbanzo beans. Let's give these a chop. And this is where the water comes in, because it's going to be a very thick paste. So we're slowly going to add in water because I don't want it to be too thin. More water, please. And you'll be able to tell if you need more water. If it's barely moving in your food processor, you need more liquid. And what you can do, if you're using canned garbanzo beans, when you drain your garbanzo beans, keep the juice from the can, reserve that, set it aside, and then you can use that instead of water. We're starting to get movement. I'm just going to scrape down my sides. Okay. I'm going to add in a tablespoon of olive oil. I hope you guys admire that precise measurement. And about a half of a teaspoon of cumin. Again, if you're not sure if you like cumin, you don't have to add the whole half teaspoon. You can add less, you can add more. You can leave it out at the beginning. When I first made this and it said to add cumin, I was worried that it was going to taste like I was eating a taco, because I didn't want to be eating a taco. I was eating hummus, but I was pleasantly surprised at how yummy it was. Going to add a little bit more water. So the recipe I'm going off of today says a 1/4 cup of water right off the bat, and I don't like to add it all in right away because, like I said earlier, I don't want to make it thinner than I want it to be. So this just helps me control the consistency. Give my edges a scrape down. Give my lid a scrape out because some of my garlic's hiding up there. It's trying to get away. No such luck today. And I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon of olive oil. You don't have to, but the fat brings a nice flavor. And I'm using light olive oil. I think it would be nicer if I had regular olive oil, the non-light stuff, because the light doesn't have as rich of a flavor. So, but whatever you have, use whatever you have. So once you get it to the thickness you want it to be, you just keep grinding it until it's nice and smooth. So mine still needs to keep being mixed a little bit, but I need some salt. So I'm gonna add maybe a quarter teaspoon of salt, give or take. We'll start there and we can always add more. think just a little bit more salt and a little bit more water. So if you're serving this, right after you're making it, mix it to the consistency you want it then. If you're going to make this and then eat it over the next week, be aware that it's gonna thicken a little bit when you put it in the fridge. So if you're going to be eating it like straight out of the fridge and you like the consistency that it is right now and you want to eat some right now, take some out right now and then thin out the rest of it a little bit because it will thicken when it goes in the fridge. Thank you for reminding me. Touch more salt. My poor little food processor doesn't always get to the thinnest consistency, but I think it's delicious nonetheless. Oh, perfect. Oh my gosh. So yummy. Okay, so if you want, you can eat it right out of your food processor. If you're by yourself, go for it. So this is what it looks like. It's a very pale blonde color. Let's give it a taste test. Very popular thing to dip into hummus is veggies. Who needs ranch? So yummy. And then another popular thing people like to dip in their hummus is pretzels. Move over, Sabra. Move over, tribe. People are going to be making their hummus at home from now on. It's so yummy. Oh, yeah, sprinkle it with... I didn't put any paprika on. It's up to you. You can mix it into it, or you can just use it as a garnish. A lot of people will garnish their hummus with paprika, a drizzle of olive oil, and fresh parsley. But it's up to you. This is delicious right here, right now with any of those. So it's all up to preference. Some other fun ways that I like to use hummus are I will just slather a whole bunch of it on a piece of toast for a snack, or using it on a sandwich in place of mayo or mustard. It brings a little bit of a different flavor to your sandwich, and it has less fat than mayo. It's a little bit better for you than mayo. It's a good source of protein, or you could just eat it with good old-fashioned warmed up pita breads. What's your favorite way to eat hummus? Let me know in the comments down below. Give this recipe a try. Let me know how it goes for you. Let me know what you think of it. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos from me, go check out my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.